and welcome along, and welcome to a slightly different kind of video from me here on Virtual Farmer. I have been sent some fantastic add-ons for Farming Simulator by the great people at Thrustmaster. We've been sent a SimTask steering kit and a SimTask FarmStick. We are going to unbox both of these items, have a look what's in them, get them set up, and show you everything about them from that point of view. I will also later have a video on how to specifically set these up with Farming Simulator as well, and how to set up your own controls and your own control configuration using them. So let's get started, and we're going to get started with the FarmTask FarmStick and get that unboxed. If I open up the top of this here, we get a very nice set of setup instructions on the top. There's the access to the manual, which is via a QR code. We got the stick itself, and then we got the simple plug and play setup. This is USB, and as you can see here, we've got a single USB A cable coming out of the top. We've got your normal warranty and bits like that on here. And then if we pull this section back here, we can then pull out the stick itself. And then unwrapping it here, we've got the actual the farm stick. So the SimTask FarmStick here. Thrustmaster logo on the front there. A big array of buttons. We've got a lot of buttons on this. And rather interestingly, a lot of them are actually marked with the base functions that's on them. So, for example, we got switch to next vehicle, switch to previous. We have activate tool there. We've got lift and lower tool there. So yeah, lots of really great markings on this straight out of the box. Looks like we've got somewhere in the region of about 20 buttons on this. 28 buttons on here. Oh no, 29, 30, because we've got 2 on the back here as well. I do know that this one in the middle here can act as a secondary control button. So basically, you press this button here and then press any of the other buttons on it, and it's like pressing a shift setup. So for me, that's going to be really useful to have that setup pressed with this. So pressing this and pressing that to lift and lower all tools will be absolutely fantastic. We got the normal forwards, back, left and right on it. We do have a swivel on it as well. So, and that actually feels nice and solid. I know I've had problems with other controllers before where that movement there has become loose and no longer work. But that feels very straight. And this, actually, this feels like a really solid piece of kit. I'm loving that. That's a chunky bit of kit, and to have a joystick that is purposely farm sim is absolutely brilliant. So I'm looking forward to giving this a try out in a little bit. The second item that they've sent over is this. This is the SimTask steering kit. Now this helps to alter a Thrustmaster wheel to be in a more farming position, a more a more heavy equipment position rather than your normal racing setup. To test this out, we actually have been sent as well a T128 wheel from Thrustmaster as well. We've been sent the PlayStation version, should work on the PC rather nicely too. So I'm going to get the steering kit unboxed so that we can have a look at that. And then what we'll do is we'll go and have a look and see exactly how easy this is to get set up, and how easy it is to get the wheel in it. So we will open up the top of this. And again, we've got the normal safety stuff in the top. Rather than the instructions being printed on the actual box this time, we've got them in here in a handy little thing. And this definitely has more setup on it than the joystick does. It is fairly simple setup by the looks of things, and you can see here it's going to mount this so that the wheel is much more horizontal than it would normally be. It looks like you might be able to move it between the two positions, which is great if you're not just doing farm sim but also playing racing games and things like that as well. Very easy then to get this, get your wheel moving between both. The other thing it has in here, which we'll pull out in the moment, of course, is a steering knob. If you guys seen my stuff before, I very much like using a steering knob with FarmSim, and it's great to have a piece of kit that's an official one to go with. So we'll open up the top here, and yeah, we've got our steering kit here in the full, oh, wow, quite a lot of stuff around this. And yeah, it is very much in parts here. Let's get all of this out, and then we can start to look at getting, to unwrapping all of this and seeing how it all fits together. There are quite a lot of boxes here, quite a lot of bits of cardboard here, just sort of holding everything together. And it's definitely more sections and more bits to get set up. So the first thing I've got out here is steering knob. This is, you know what, that feels nice and sturdy and very freewheeling. Looks like it's fairly easy to attach to the wheel as well. So that's quite a nice bit. We've got our metal plate here that forms the basis, I think. Yeah, let's get all of this out and have a look at all the various bits. So I've unpacked most of the bits from here. We've got the two sides. We've got the main bracket, and we've got this tray here. Looking at these instructions, wow, it's quite a complicated bit of kit to put together by the looks of things. So I'm going to try and get this assembled and see if we can go from there, and then see how easy it is to attach it to the desk at the same time. So I'm using a PH1 screwdriver to assemble this. Definitely need to have that. I think it'd be a lot easier if you give yourself plenty of space to do it as well. I'm obviously doing this sort of in the air and finding it a little bit of fun because of that. But that is nicely onto there. I'll get the other side on as well. And having got the third screw in, that's both sides on like that. So yeah, I think this will be really easy to attach and detach to my desk, which is really useful. I'm going to be moving this away from my main work area all the time, so that's absolutely fantastic. Now, the one thing that does worry me slightly, it's got the sides on, and I've just noticed that this has, I don't know if you can see this, has a couple of sections on either side, which are screws. So we might have to undo this a bit to get this in here. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to, because, oh no, these bits don't go into the section I've just done, thankfully. They go on the outside. This slots rather nicely into here like this. So let's get that assembled and see how that works. So with not too much difficulty, that has all slid onto there and looking pretty good. That's a nice chunk of equipment that should stick on my desk very nicely, especially once we get a wheel into it. Now, there are two remaining screws that sort of go in the bottom down here, if you can see that. Yeah, there we go. So that goes into there. But I can't see anything to attach that to at the moment. So we'll work out what that goes into in a minute. In fact, looking at the instructions, that is something that's going to go into the wheel. So I'm going to hold off on those at the moment. Those will require an Allen key to get into place. And the other thing to remember to do is on the underside here, you're going to need to put on the pad. Now, there's a whole load of small round pads like this. These need to go on various places around the actual bit. So one there, one there. Yeah, there's 4 for each side. One on the inside of here like this, and one on the inside of there like that. So yeah, those all fit in there like so. We'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm actually going to have a look with where I put these and measure it on my desk a bit, because the side of my desk is actually a little bit further or a little bit higher. So best thing for me to do is to position those exactly where they're going to hit my desk, and that way allow it to work a little bit better. So I actually need to move the ones on the sides up a little bit. I'm going to take that on there. And yeah, that looks like you can reposition them without too much hassle. That's stuck back on fairly easily. I just wouldn't leave them there too long before you move them if you need to do something like that. But it's great that those come with movable bits like that, because you can absolutely customize them for your desk and for your setup. So attaching it to the desk is fairly easy. You just screw it in. I'm going to attach it to my desk before I try and put the wheel in, because I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it, especially with the lack of space that I've got here. One of the nice things about this wheel is it doesn't come with any wires actually attached. They all slot in the back here rather nicely, so I can get this positioned in here without too much hassle as far as that. I probably will want to get all of this hooked up. In fact, we want to position this now so that we have a better position, initial position, certainly, for the wheel. And we can just slot it in. It feels really low where it is. And it's interesting that it's catching my desk ever so slightly. So I think the best thing here is probably going to be to try and use the clamp. So we will clamp that on like so. One final twist and then down. And that is fairly strongly on there. And yeah, that is nicely positioned, very nicely positioned for doing stuff like that. Frees up a lot of desk space as well. You know, there's a lot of space in front of here. If I move these out of the way, then you can see that, and we can easily as well add this. So I was wondering, I was sitting here wondering what these items here did, and it's to get these. They go on the inside of this. Now, there's only 2 of them required. I've got 4 in my box, so I'm quite happy to see more than I need than less. And that should then come onto here, and that will then clamp much better onto this. So we then get that back into here and fits on there quite snugly. Perfect. Look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. Now let's move the camera a little bit so that you guys can see that a bit better. There we go. Yeah, that is very nice, and great wheel, and a great position, and I'll be able to move my keyboards closer and everything, and even maybe get my microphone a little closer as well, because it's a little bit far back at the moment. Yeah, that is really cool. So very much plug and play. We'll get everything set up, and I will take it through. But this feels nice and solid. It's solidly here on the desk. It's gonna take a little bit of getting used to have this like this here, I think. And there's actually space to have the FarmStick right next to me here, so that I'm doing that, and then have my mouse not too far from me, which has always been a little bit of a problem in the past. So we'll have a play around with this setup. We'll get this all set up, and we'll go from there. But yeah, this is looking pretty cool. I'm very impressed. So that's where I'm going to leave this video. We will do some setup and some gameplay next time. It is just very much just plugging everything up. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm liking it a lot, and the adjustability of the whole thing as well. Very cool. In fact, yeah, you can take it so that it doesn't have to be completely horizontal. I like that a lot. That is absolutely brilliant. So we'll give this a go. We'll try it out, and I will take you guys through the setup. However, for now, this is where we'll leave this video. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.